Good morning and welcome to my kitchen. Today's episode is all about the humble chicken. I'm going to show you two beautiful recipes and I'm going to show you how to prep this so you make the most of your money. Okay, fresh chicken. So I've just nipped down to the supermarket and I've bought this. Let me show you how to joint it and turn it into culinary sort of inspiration. We're going to make a delicious pickled garlic chicken Kiev from my new book. Let me show you. This is one of my favorite recipes. I absolutely love this. The acidity from the pickled garlic is just absolutely amazing. It cuts through the butter. I mean, who doesn't love a chicken Kiev? This is just done in an easier way using the air fryer, and the pickled garlic butter you can use for everything. It's absolutely delicious. Then I'm going to show you how to make a lovely roasted chicken soup, but we're going to put gnocchi and spring onion in it. It's going to be absolutely delicious. So let's get it out of the packet. So would you attempt to joint a whole chicken, Carlos, at home? No?
I will chop my finger if I do that.
Okay, so it's really, really simple and it's about practice. And actually, it's cheaper if you do it this way, okay? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the legs and the thighs off. Really, really easy. So you just make a small cut there on that side and on that side. Turn the chicken over and then you've got two little, these are the oysters actually, like the muscle on the shoulder blade, sorry. Just put your thumbs on them and then just dislocate the bones like that. All right, and then you just pop that little bone out. Take your knife and we're going to cut round, okay? So think round. Don't do that. We're going to scoop round with a knife, okay? So we're going to cut in, we're going to scoop round the oyster, and then we're just going to remove the leg, okay? And then we'll do the same on this side. So make sure that bone's popped out, cut round, put the pressure on the actual chicken, not on the leg and the thigh. There you go. That's those two off. Dead easy. Okay. We're going to take the breasts off now. All you need to do is cut long ways, okay? It'll go either side of the breastbone, okay? Don't know which side it's going to go. We'll find out. So it's just gone to my right. So all you need to do now is use the tip of your knife and just make little cuts. And as you do, always press against the bone, yeah? With butchery. As you cut, little cuts, and then just peel the chicken breast away, okay? So nice and slowly, take your time. The idea is to take as much of the meat off as you can. All right, there we go. And then you cut through the wing bone. So there's the first breast off there. The second one is slightly more difficult because it's not quite as balanced. So you just got to be careful. So cut along that breastbone and then use the tip of your knife. Cut away, turn it round, and just cut and just peel the chicken away from the bone. All right? Don't try and do it in one cut. Lots and lots of little cuts against the actual bone will allow you to get the maximum amount of meat off, and then just cut through the chicken bone joint, and there we go. Now we've got our chicken carcass there. So we're going to turn that into a beautiful chicken stock, which will make the most incredible gnocchi soup. It's really, really nice. So before we do that, let's take our chicken breast. So we've got a wing on there. I'm going to use that for our stock because there's loads of flavour in it. Basically, put your knife flat like that, fold the wing over, and then just cut away from yourself. Yeah, so you got your wings there. You could chuck them in the freezer if you want, if you like chicken wings. Build them up until you've got enough for a meal. There we go. Right. Now, for my recipe for pickled garlic chicken Kievs, I do not need the skin. So I'm just going to peel that away, remove that. Now let's pop that on there. Remove that skin as well. Get rid of that. And now we've just got two chicken breasts. What you'll also find is you get these little tenders here. These are like the little fillet underneath. Let's remove those. So just cut them away. what I tend to do with these is put them in a container in the freezer and build them up till we've got like 10 or 12. And then we'll bring them out, we'll pané them, so we'll egg flour and breadcrumb them, and we'll have just like really little simple chicken tenders. And I've got the most incredible recipe, I think it was last week or the week before, where we made Korean cranberry chili sauce with these chicken tenders. If you've got my book, go back and get it. If you haven't, go onto YouTube and search for one of the recipes and get the Korean chicken tenders. It's amazing. Okay, so we'll put those over there. Now, let's prepare these for our pickled garlic chicken. So we're gonna actually butterfly these, which basically means we cut them nice and thin so they cook really quick. So can we see this all right, Carlos? Yeah? Let's just cut in hand flat and parallel to the chopping board, your little finger up and your thumb up. Okay, so you don't cut yourself. And then just cut in, put like quite a lot of pressure on the meat so it doesn't move, it doesn't slip, and there's no chance of you cutting yourself. And now we've got two nice thin pieces, exactly the same shape, but half the thickness, which means twice the cooking speed, okay? So there's those two done. Let me pop those in a bowl, ready. Let's do these now. So finger and thumb up, knife parallel to the board. There we go. Nice. So they're going to be for our pickled garlic chicken Kiev. Now these I am going to put in the freezer. So I've got the thighs and the legs and I've got the wings. I'm going to be cooking the most beautiful chorizo chicken stew in a couple of weeks. So they're going in the freezer ready for it. Right, we're going to make the most incredible chicken stock. Now, whether you're going to make this gnocchi soup or not, you need to know how to make a good chicken stock. So I'm going to use my 4-litre shallow pan. This is the new colour, just come out. Purple, aubergine? Purple? Aubergine, I would say. Nice colour. Aubergine is classy, I think. Let's get the pan on. Get it hot. Now, with good stock, you need like a base. Now, I've prepped my chicken on here, but I'm about to prep the veggies that are going in with the chicken, so I don't really need to clean my board yet until I'm finished. So, cut your onion, just roughly chop it. Onion will just give you a nice foundation, gives you depth of flavour, okay? So, in that goes. And then I've got some carrots for sweetness and a bit of colour. So it'll help us give a nice golden stock, which I think when you're eating like a broth-based soup, you want a lovely coloured stock. So in with the carrots. Then we're going to take our chicken carcass, and that's going in, all right? Okay, so I've got a few bay leaves here. They always just add a nice fragrance to it. A little bit of rosemary. Now, I never season my stock. I make my stock, then I season it. Because if you season this now, it might be too salty later. So the idea is that you make the chicken stock and then you season it, okay? So, we're making a dark brown chicken stock. So the idea, if you want a clear, light stock, you don't brown it off. You just fill it with water and off it goes, boil away. But I want a rich roast chicken stock. Okay, so we're just going to colour the chicken and the veggies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit that on top of the vegetables now. This is going straight in the oven and I'm going to absolutely knacker this. I'm going to roast it till it's dried out, which means it's all lovely and golden. Then when we add the liquid, it will hydrate it and you'll get an incredible roast chicken flavour. Okay, so we're going to get on to our pickled garlic chicken Kiev from the book, okay? One of my favourites. This recipe has been in development for years. We've been tinkering about with it, and then it made it into the book. So, vinegar first. You can use white vinegar or red vinegar. The only difference being is the red vinegar might colour your garlic just slightly. If that matters to you, then use white vinegar. I've got 4 cloves of garlic. Now, you can either do one of two things. One is that you can pickle them whole and then leave them, and it takes longer. But if you're in a rush and you want to do this quickly, slice your garlic nice and thin, and this will mean it pickles really quickly. So if you've got in at home, you've picked your book up, and you just want to do a quick midweek dinner, nice and quick, do it this way. But if you've learned to love pickled garlic like I do, go buy like loads of garlic, spend a bit of time and pickle loads of it and put it in a jar and keep it in the fridge so you've got it. Because once you've got it, you'll then eat it a lot. But if we're going to make it all in real time, slice it, get it into your vinegar. Okay, and we're just going to bring that up to the boil, cook it for like a minute, and then switch the heat off and leave it. Okay, nice and easy. We like nice and easy. Okay, so while that's happening, let's egg, flour, and breadcrumb our chicken. And we'll talk what we're going to do with this. Okay, so we've got 3 eggs. If you've got a cold, like Carlos has, boiled vinegar in the kitchen is going to clear his head really quickly. I promise you. Get your head in there, Carlos. And then we've got breadcrumbs, okay? So I use panko breadcrumbs. They just are so much crispier. Okay, so they're like a Japanese breadcrumb. How's that vinegar working out for you? Yeah, it clears everything. If you've got a cold, stick your nose in there, sorted. Dr. Peter has solved your winter ailments. So panko breadcrumbs, most of the supermarkets do their own label now, which aren't as expensive. These ones are only ones that I could get, which are the authentic kind of Japanese ones. So sometimes you just got to go with what you've got. All right. Right, let's whisk up our eggs. If you're going to make this as well, and you are like time poor, double it up. Put them in the freezer, all right? So when there's a day when you're not too busy and you've got a bit of time to yourself, just get all the chicken done, get the garlic done, and then it's a quick dinner, and it's an amazing dinner. Okay? So eggs beaten. Okay. Let's grab a little bit of salt, and we'll season up our flour. Where's our salt? Our salt's over here. So you want to kind of build your layers of flavor. So we're just going to season up our flour. And we're also going to add in, I always like to add in dried onion flakes. And then we get a bit of decent flavor in there, because I think chicken doesn't really taste of a great deal these days. Okay. Right. See that garlic there? Have a little look at that, Carlos. Vinegar is almost gone. That's done its job. So it's taken that garlic and it's just given it a real acidic sharpness to it. So it's not just garlic butter. This is pickled garlic butter, which is better. All right? So let's take our chicken. Keep one hand for breadcrumbs. Only use one hand for breadcrumbs, all right? So in the flour, into the egg mixture. Then do another chicken with flour. And then just put it to one end. So this is the way I do it. You could do it one at a time if you wanted to, but build it up. That's floured. So easy to get in a right mess, you see. Now, remember, if you want any of the recipes from today's episode, sign up for our newsletter and it will be delivered as we speak. So what we're doing is we're scheduling our newsletter every week with the show's recipes. I think they get sent at 9:10 on a Saturday morning. So as you're watching, thinking, fancy making that, ping, your email inbox will go, there's the recipes for you. So make sure you sign up, go to petersidwell.com, go to the newsletter, sign up, and that's what we will send you every week. The recipes, okay? Some tips, things like that. So, chicken, turn it over in the egg mixture, let some of the excess drip off, and then just lay it into the panko. Then, grab some of the panko with your dry hand, put it on the end there, cover that, which now means I can pick that up without getting all eggy and messy, and then turn it over. Turn it over. Now we've got a nice, clean coating of panko, like so. And a clean hand, all right? That is the secret. I've got 2 little fillets left over there. from when we were butchering the chicken, so I'm going to put those in as well. And then just roll them in the panko. Nice and easy.
I like that too. Like
Yeah?
one with a dry and another one.
As a young chef, when you were training, you'd always get these jobs because they're messy and the older chefs didn't want to do it. And like you'd end up with proper breadcrumbed fingers. It was just horrendous. And the longer you do it, the more crumbs you get, and you end up like a bunch of bananas. So you kind of learn quickly to find really clean, efficient ways of doing it. To be honest, the easiest way is get someone else to do it, but you know. So just nice and easy. And you could say, you know, for any breadcrumbing, basically, this is what you do, whether it's vegetables, whether it's fish, whether it's meat, cheese, you can breadcrumb, anything you like. Slices of fresh mozzarella in eggs, flour and breadcrumbs, you know, with lovely fresh tomatoes on. Oh, love that. Right. Nearly there. Okay. Last one. So turn it over in that egg mixture. Okay. So there we go. Our chicken is breadcrumbed and ready to cook. Right, we're going to use the air fryer on these because it's just simple, it's easy. I don't have to put the oven on if I'm making this. I've set it to 180 degrees. Now, Masterclass do these. I love these because I've always got bottles of olive oil everywhere. But when the air fryer, you don't want to be pouring olive oil onto ingredients and putting it in the air fryer particularly. The idea is a little bit healthier, a little bit lighter, a little bit less oil needed. So these things are really cool because you can just fill it up with olive oil at home. And then just, you pump it so it pressurizes it. So the more air goes into it, and then all I need to do is then just a little squirt like that. Turn the chicken over like so. And there's just kind of enough oil. And then just put a little bit in there. That's all I need. Look at that. And then we go straight in. Don't layer them on top of each other, okay? That is probably one of the important things when it comes to air frying, is just space, all right? So if you've got a really little air fryer, you're gonna have to make sure that you maybe do it in batches. So whack it in, leave it. It'll crisp up beautiful. And because we cut it nice and thinly, it'll just cook really, really quick, really easy. By the time you've got some veggies ready and bits and bobs and stuff, it's all easy. And that's really what we're trying to do with Peter Sidwell's Kitchen, is give you recipes that just make life easier but taste better. Okay, so our pickled garlic is done. Look, it's done its job. Okay, so all I'm going to do is just move it up there. Okay, and that means that I can just lift it out. If you wanted to keep it in the fridge, put it in a container with the vinegar. It gets better. All right. So what we're going to do is, there's our pickled garlic ready to go. So I've got a nice big pan here. Let's get that on the heat. And let's get some butter. So we're going to make our pickled garlic butter now. If you wanted to do it with olive oil, just olive oil, you can. That's entirely up to you. You know, I think if you're going to have a chicken Kiev, have a chicken Kiev. You know.
What's the difference to using butter than?
I think with butter just is sort of richer than olive oil. If you didn't eat butter, if you had a dairy intolerance, things like that, then you would use olive oil or a plant-based butter. There we go. So you will get a slightly different flavor profile, but it's still going to taste really good. So if you don't use butter, use a bit of olive oil, make the same thing. Just don't overheat it, I think, would be my tip if you're going to use olive oil. Because the hotter you get olive oil, the less flavor you get. You kind of burn the flavor away. So, right, let's get some fresh rosemary out of the garden, because that's all really, the herbs that are going in this is all that's really growing in the garden at the moment. We've got a few little bits of fresh thyme. If you haven't got this, just use some mixed herbs, some Italian or herb de Provence, something like that. And then I've got a couple of bay leaves because I just love the flavour of bay when it starts to crackle. Okay. Right, butter's just starting to melt now, so let's just get our pickled garlic in. Okay. And then I absolutely love capers. Okay, so I've got some really nice little mini capers here. Tablespoon, squeeze out the vinegar because we've got our acidity in there and drop them in. So now what we've got is a little sort of balance because we've used butter, which is obviously rich. We're countering it with pickled garlic and pickled capers. So what we've got is a lovely balance now. And all this now wants is that crispy chicken. Right, chicken has just crisped up. Let's bring it out of the air fryer. Look at that, just beautiful, crispy, ready to go. All it needs is going into this lovely pickled garlic butter. Okay, I've got a little bit of lemon juice here. I like to add that because it just gives it a little bit of balance from the butter, okay? So let's get it warm and nice and ready to go. And then chicken straight in, okay? Because if you're having a Kiev, the butter would be in the middle, but on this, it's on the outside. So let's just get it straight in. There we go. Just put 3 in there for now. Get rid of that. And then let's just bring this up. And that is it. That is how to make the most delicious pickled garlic chicken Kievs at home. All right, let's have a taste. That's what we want to do, isn't it? If I just grab a plate. Feel like this is something we ought to try. I'll just put 2 on there and then just get loads of that pickled garlic butter. There we go. How good does that look?
It does.
I feel like we might need 3 forks for this one. Even Emily's going to peel herself away from the edit. But let's just cut this up and then just legitimize how delicious this is before we move on to our final recipe. So there we go. Okay, so what you're going to get is lovely crispy breaded chicken, seasoned throughout because we put that onion powder in there. We seasoned it with a bit of salt, panko breadcrumbs, super crispy. And then the star of the show, our pickled garlic butter. So when I taste this, I'm going to make sure I get a bit of caper, bit of garlic, bit of everything. That is pretty darn good. You're going to want to make this. Right. Okay, so the chicken carcass is here, look, and it's pretty dried out. And you see these bits here? That's where your colour and your flavour is going to come from. So pop it on the heat and then boil the kettle, okay? And as we pour the boiling water into here, all the flavour from that sort of dried out chicken is going to soak into the water, okay? The onions, the carrots, everything is all going to give amazing flavour. And it's really important that you do this bit first. So even if you're prepping a chicken and you've not got time to do this, chuck that carcass into the freezer so that on the days that you do have time. Okay, so let's just top that up a little bit more. So this 4 litre, this is Masterclass's 4 litre pan, shallow. Means I've got loads of space. I can do everything I want to do. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring this right up to the boil and I'm going to simmer it for 20 minutes. Right, my chicken stock is just simmering away there. It's going to be about 20 minutes and then it will be absolutely delicious. So what I've bought is some supermarket gnocchi because this is a midweek one, all right? If you want to make fresh gnocchi at home, check out my new book, Peter Sidwell's Kitchen. Go to the 4 ways chapter. I've got an amazing recipe for fresh potato gnocchi. It's absolutely delicious. If you've got the time, make it fresh. If you haven't, buy it in the supermarket, okay? So we're going to actually cook gnocchi. Have you had gnocchi before, Carlos?
Yeah.
So it's like potato and flour and eggs, okay? It's a little Italian dumpling. It's absolutely delicious. Really, really nice, okay? That is going to be our sort of carbohydrate for our meals. So we've got our chicken, we've got our protein in the broth, we've got our carbohydrates from our stock, and then I'm just gonna, for freshness, I've got these lovely big spring onions or green onions or scallions, wherever you might be. We have a global audience, so I'm trying to appease you all. Okay, so these barely need cooking, in my opinion. So all I'm going to do is just slice them really, really thin. All right, because they go in at the last minute. All right. So on the angle, gives you something to do while your stock is simmering away. I mean, look, we're simmering away. The flavors are just going to come out of that chicken. And the good thing about this pan is it's got these little dimples here. So the steam evaporates and it recondenses back down into it. So I'm not going to lose my liquid. But what I am going to do is just pull all the flavor out of the chicken into the stock. Okay? So back down on that lid and we'll finish chopping. Now remember, if you've got any questions at all about today's recipes, post them in the comments below. You can also go to our YouTube channel. There's a library there of all our past programs. There's about 200 programs. There's loads there. And if you go to our website, you can see them there as well, but you can sign up for our newsletter and you can get all the recipes every week sent to your inbox while you're watching, okay? Just go to petersidwell.com. You'll find these recipes there and all the others, and it'll just get sent to you. So it's super easy. I think we started doing it last week, Carlos, about a couple of hundred signed up for the newsletter. Yeah. So it's the new way until we actually get round to doing another book. Because last year we did a book with all the recipes, and this year we're busy, and we might or we might not do another book. Who knows? Never say never. Okay. You can also, as well, we've just started writing a new column in Living North magazine. So every month you'll get a selection of exclusive recipes from us here at Peter Sidwell's Kitchen, published in Living North magazine, a lovely magazine. Check it out. It's all about the north of England, lifestyle, food, everything. It's really nice. And some cracking recipes to come. Got the most beautiful rhubarb sausage pie. It's absolutely amazing. We flavour it with gingerbread crumbs, so the sausage meat, good Cumberland sausage, gingerbread crumbs, fresh sage, and then it's topped with an apple and rhubarb and all encased in a lovely golden pastry. So nice. Then I've got a no churn rhubarb ice cream, really simple to do, bags of flavour, and a rhubarb and custard shortbread crumble biscuit. 3 great recipes. Check it out on Living North magazine. Right. Look at that. That looks all right, doesn't it? So can you see how golden it's all come? So by really hard roasting this, we've got bags of flavour. And that's what we wanted. Just tons and tons of flavour in there. Okay, so that has just simmered for about 20 minutes. Okay, so let's just grab a spoon with holes in. Grab a bowl. And then what I want to do is just lift this out now. So I'm just going to, you can leave these in if you want to eat them, that's absolutely fine. But what I wanted to do was just get a really nice clear broth that's got bags and bags of flavour. Okay. So almost there. So once all those veggies are out, they've done their job. That'll do nicely. Let's pop that over there. All I'm going to do now is take my fresh gnocchi, drop it in like so. Now, the key to gnocchi is when it starts to float, it's totally cooked. All right? So while that's cooking, let's check for seasoning. So you remember when we were making this, I said don't season it until the end? This is when we're going to season it. All right, so we'll give it a little stir, and then we'll have a taste. I can taste the bay in that. It's lovely. Really, really nice. Right, where is my salt? Okay, so I'm going to give it a little season. A little bit of salt in there, not too much. And then what I am going to add, which is a little controversial, but we like controversy.
We do.
If I can find it. Where have I put it? I totally had it out earlier. I know I did.
After.
Soy sauce. We totally had that out. There. Oh, here it is. No, I didn't. Right. So what I'm going to add, which might be a little controversial, but what it does is it just gives it a darker, deeper colour, and it reinforces that lovely dark brown colour. See the gnocchi there?
Yep.
It's floating. That's it. Now, run my knife through those big white pieces of spring onion, and then we're going in, okay? So in it goes. That's going to give us a lovely freshness. Really, really nice. And then all we need to do is grab a ladle, and that's it. We're cooked. We're ready to go. We've got the most delicious roast chicken. If you've got a cold and you're feeling a little under weather like Carlos is, this will absolutely make you feel better, okay? Put it down in the middle of the table and just let everybody tuck in, okay? Look at that. That is just a big hug in a bowl. That's exactly what you need, isn't it, Carlos?
Absolutely.
So there you go. That is how you make my roast chicken and gnocchi soup. So, to recap, I've shown you how to joint a chicken. I've shown you how to take the chicken breasts off and turn them into a pickled garlic chicken Kievs from our new book. And then I've taken the carcass and we've made the most beautiful roast chicken broth. And then we've cooked our fresh gnocchi with spring onion in there for a lovely winter warmer. The legs and the thighs have gone in the freezer for another episode. They'll be coming back soon to make the most delicious chorizo, olive and red pepper stew. It's going to be absolutely delicious. Thank you very much for watching. And don't forget, if you want the recipes, sign up for our newsletter and we'll deliver them straight to your inbox.